Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. What we're going to be doing in this video here is I just want to give my first impressions on Bloodbourne. Only because I've been playing it non-stop since it released. I've been playing it all this morning, all afternoon, all this evening, and I've been recording tons of videos for you guys that are, you know, actually going live all throughout today and all throughout early this morning. So, but in this video here, we're just going to talk about my first impressions on the game. This is just the very first impressions, you know. This isn't going to be a review. This isn't going to be a do I think the game is going to sell. This isn't going to be nothing like that. This is just going to be my first thoughts on the game. And so far, I'm loving the hell out of this game, to be honest. I'm not a very picky gamer, so to speak. So while I'm, you know, just running around and exploring, this is the first area you come to in the game, Yharnam. I'm just going to be going around farming blood echoes and things like that. So that's what I'm doing in the background in the actual video. But like I said, I'm not very picky. I'm not a huge, let's say, hardcore player of Dark Souls or the Souls series. I've played all the games. I've beaten part 2. Never really got into Demon Souls, even though I have it. I probably played like 6 to 8 hours of that game, and that's it. Probably put in 15 or 20 hours of Dark Souls 1. But by the time I got into it, I played part 2 and beat part 2 before I actually sat down and tried to play part 1. Because before then, I've only played it for like a couple hours and then put it down. Not because I didn't like the game, but just because I play all sorts of games. I don't stick to one particular game unless I really like it for really long. And the game didn't jump out at me when I first got it, you know. So, but this one I knew I was going to pick up because I really like Dark Souls 2. And I know it's made by the same people. I wasn't really expecting this game to, let's say, live up to the Dark Souls 2 standard, or Dark Souls, or the Souls series standard, I should say. Not just specifically Dark Souls 2, but I really wanted, you know, to be its own game. To be honest, I don't want to compare it to that, but it is very similar. The same similar story as far as how it's vaguely told to you so far. I've only got up to the first boss in this game yet, and so far the story, from what they're showing you, is pretty much the same way. It's kind of like they're giving you bits and pieces, and you have to, you know, imagine or put together what the story actually is. And I'm liking it. I mean, I'm liking it a hell of a lot. Even in my videos, I was sitting here trying to put together all the little pieces of, like, because like when these guys attack you, they all, you know, they claim you're ruining their town and that you're infected. So it's like, you know, it makes me wonder what's going on story-wise and everything. So, ooh, hold up, doing this live, so it's not post commentary. Give me a sec. I'm gonna try to keep this video somewhat short. I mean, I'm not gonna make it 10 minutes probably. I know I don't want it to go over like 20 minutes to a half hour, so I know we're gonna try to condense it down here. Whoa, calm that down. But so far I'm liking the presentation, really liking the how the graphics look. The animations are damn near beautiful. Especially the only problem I have is not necessarily with the character animations, but when you zoom in on your character's face, it kind of looks plasticky. But other than that, I mean, me personally, I could care less about that. I mean, I'm not a graphics whore. That's not going to make or break my gaming experience by any means. But the animations look good. I like the animations on the coat, like whenever you move or you swing, things like that. Really fan of all the blood that gets on it. Like when you fight and kill, tons of monsters and things like that, your trench coat gets covered in blood. And it pretty much stays like that for the most part. I think it stays like that until you go back to the Hunter's Dream area, but I could be wrong. But I've noticed every time I go back and come back, my coat isn't as bloody. So I like, as you can see here, the little trick weapon that they got. Loving that. This is one I picked up after I stopped recording my videos. I was doing farming, and I found a couple areas in the game that I didn't normally see while I was recording my videos. I found a couple extra rooms in this area and I found this one person, I believe it was a woman, another hunter, and when you talked to her, she helped you out and gave you something. But I tried to fight her and kill her because I figured, alright, this is a Souls game, so if I kill her, maybe I might get something. And I killed her. I was extremely cheap. I kind of walked her to a part where she fell down and lost like 80% of her health, and then I just kind of used my blunderbuss and you know, had to shoot at her a few times, and then I had to drop down and actually fight her for like the last 10% of her health, and that's how I killed her. But I got a crow hunter's badge or something like that, and hold on, and I still don't know what that does yet, but that's what I gotten for killing her. Damn. You see that? It was like a two-shot headshot kind of sort of thing, but it was my fault. It was my fault jumping down in there without healing. But anyway, we're gonna go get our stuff back. Alright. Now that we're back, let's go get our stuff back, and but I'm really liking the game so far. I really am. There really isn't a lot that I don't like. Even the music in the game, it has like this subtle, creepy vibe to it that even Dark Souls didn't have. Maybe because it was more fantasy oriented, and this is more of a kind of like a rundown, grungy, old school kind of sort of look to it. It feels almost like this could be realistic versus Dark Souls, but the music in this game is creepy. The setting is creepy. Everybody looks like infected and decrepit looking, and I'm really liking that. It really kind of sets the tone for the game. You can see that they wanted to go for a more what I assume a darker game than Dark Souls, because Dark Souls is kind of, I mean, like I said, fantasy-ish, and maybe they just, you know, wanted to try something different. I don't know. I don't know the lore of Dark Souls all that well, so I don't know if this world in Dark Souls is the same. I'm assuming it's not, but I know that from Dark Souls 1 and 2, they have little bits and pieces of the story connect up, and different people and you know, different things like that connect up throughout both games. Even though the worlds may not necessarily be the same, but you might see like something from part 1 or some person from part 1 or armor from part 1 in part 2. I'm assuming this is going to be the same way, where it's not the same world, but you know, there's going to be that Easter egg hint that they drop in the game, because, you know, for the fans who like their game. So, but don't quote me. They may not do that, but I'm assuming they have a track record of doing it, so I assume it'll be in here. But like I said, the music is pretty good. The atmosphere is damn good. One thing that I would say I'm not liking about the game is I know the game is hard, and I expect Dark Souls to be hard. Don't get me wrong, and I know, you know, I'm expecting every game of theirs to be hard. But this game, maybe because it's still, because I'm still in this intro area, but this game is kind of easy. You know, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, like I said, I'm no Souls veteran or nothing, but I know I've been playing games for, let's say, the past 20 to 25 years. And I know games nowadays I always find particularly easy because, I mean, I'm just a competent gamer. I'm just going to say that. But I was expecting this game, you know, because you have no shield and everything, I was expecting this game to be a little bit more harder. And it's not necessarily, or at least not yet. Like I said, I'm still in the beginning area, so maybe that's why. Maybe they didn't want to deter all, you know, like all of their players right out the gate. You know, they don't want to just pull a Demon Souls and just, you know, stomp your ass in right when you start. And maybe that's why. But so far, the game doesn't seem. Oh, shield, got to get my stuff back. Oh yes, yes please. But it doesn't seem really hard. I mean, granted, for somebody who don't play this kind of sort of game, this game will push your shit in. But as somebody who is played Dark Souls, and you know, and don't get me wrong, like I said, I played Dark Souls 2. I know that's the I played Dark Souls 2, and that's the weaker of the two games. Like when you compare Dark Souls 1 and 2, because I heard part 1 was incredibly harder than part 2. But I mean, I thought this game, like I said, not having a shield, you have to dodge more. I thought that was gonna, you know, make the game extremely difficult because you can't sit there and block. But you know, maybe I was wrong. Maybe they just made this easy area easy, but you know, maybe as soon as you leave out of this area, it's probably gonna be hard as shit. That's what I'm assuming. Haven't did that yet because, like I said, I'm at the. I don't know if he's the first boss of the game, but I'm at Father 𝐥𝐤𝐤𝐞, whatever you know, however you pronounce his name. But the other hunter who fights like you, and you fight him in the cemetery. I'm at that fight right now. That's why I'm actually farming right now, is because I'm trying to buy something from the store and hold up. But I'm actually farming and leveling up. I was collecting and leveling up souls and stuff. I leveled up a couple times. And what I'm actually trying to buy is, I don't know if I got it from killing that person, or maybe it was the items that, you know, that I picked up off that other hunter's dead body. But I got to an item in the shop. I'll pull it up. But there's an item in the shop that was the weapon that the female hunter that I found. It was her weapon. It was like a pair of dual wielding daggers. And she was whooping my ass with them. Like, I died like 3 times before I actually killed her. And that weapon looks badass as hell. So I want to try it out. But in order to get it from the shop, you need like 40,000 in blood echoes. So that's what I'm actually farming to get. And this area has tons of people in it. So I just gotta like, I actually checked out how much souls I get. And it's pretty much, you can get like 15 to 1,800 souls. I keep saying souls because I'm so used to fucking Dark Souls, but you can get 1,500 to 1,800 echoes by you know, by just going through this area and circling around, cleaning out, you know, most of the weaker guys, not the big strong guys, because they'll probably kill you in 2 or 3 hits. But that's what I'm doing. I mean, I gotta run through this area probably about like 30 or 40 times in order to get the amount. But anyway, back to my impressions. Like I said, the game is very well done graphically. Sound design is on point. Atmosphere is on point. You have tons of this, you know, detailed stuff, like you can break open tons of hidden areas, like this place right here. Let me kill this guy first. And let's see what he got. So it definitely, for those of you guys who are wondering, oh, is it like Dark Souls or is it like something different? It's different, but it still plays like a Souls game where, you know, you still wander around the world in the same exact way, just a different environment. And that's what I like about it. This is where I found the other hunter that I killed. The reason I killed her was because I was hoping she had like this, her coat was like feathers. And I really love the way it looks, so I was hoping to get that, but apparently, is that an item right there? Huh? Maybe that's the game glitching up. Because when I killed her, I actually killed her and got killed at the same time, so we sort of killed each other, or somebody else must have killed me just as I killed her, and I had to actually come back here and get her blood echo back. And this is where it was. It was like right here in front of, you know, where this barrel ring was. So maybe that's just the game, you know, glitching out. Like, I already picked it up, so maybe that's why I can't, you know, pick it up again. And it's, you know, kind of glitched in there. So maybe that's why that's like that. But speaking of that, let's talk about glitches. So far, very little. Very little. I've seen a couple reviews about this. Well, not really reviews, but other first impression videos about this. And I remember IGN, they were talking about how oh, the game has frame rate issues when you spin the camera around and shit like that. I haven't experienced none of that. This game is butter smooth, as you can see. You know, I've experienced no kind of frame rate drops at all. So maybe it's just my PlayStation 4. I have no way of knowing that, but so far I have no problems out of this game. The very few graphical glitches I do see is when you pan the camera. Like, I can be standing right here and I'll pan the camera down and up like this. Is sometimes in between 2 pieces of 3D, you know, 3D modeling, like where a wall meets another wall, you will see a gap in between there, a very, very, very small gap that you probably wouldn't see unless you're looking for it. It's one of those kind of sort of things where it's barely noticeable, and most people probably wouldn't even care. But I'm just gonna stay it nonetheless, you know, because I did notice it. What else? Nothing really. I had the game crash on me one time, but that was after playing it for like 6 hours, 7 hours. So, I mean, I don't know if it was just my PlayStation 4, but I was just playing it, and all of a sudden the game just crashed out on me. All I did was restart, and the game hasn't crashed since, and it's probably been another 10 hours of gameplay. So it was probably just that one incident, or maybe, you know, I'm expecting the game to crash, because every time you have a big game, you know, release, I mean, I'm always expecting that kind of stuff to happen. So, I mean, this is right out the gate too, so they haven't patched anything yet, as far as I know. The only real thing that I'm missing, you know, when you compare it to Dark Souls and the Souls games, is I don't think there's a backstab mechanic in this game. Like, cause I've snuck up behind people, but when you get within, let's say, like 5 feet of them, they kind of instantly turn around because they know you're there. And I don't, and you can't get up on them to actually backstab them, so I just don't think that's a mechanic in this game. Another mechanic that I have seen is damn, I just ate that. Oh yeah, you know you're gonna get fucked up for that, right? Anyway, combat. I'm liking the combat a lot. Really do. I was actually surprised how much I'm liking it, because Dark Souls, to me, I love the game for what it is. Don't get me wrong. It's kind of like a unique game into itself, where it's, when I play Dark Souls, I can't be like, oh, you know, this game plays just like this other game. I can't say that. Dark Souls is the kind of game where it's like, okay, well, this game plays just like Dark Souls 1. You know, it's like the only game that plays like it. And this game, the combat is it's fast, it's fluid, and that's exactly what I wanted out of Dark Souls 1, because that was my biggest flaw in it. It felt too slow. Like, I wanted the same thing, but having the sword, the shield, the movement speed, everything in it was kind of weighted. And that to me, that's not what I'm comfortable with. To me, when I play a game like this, I want like Ninja Gaiden 1 or Devil May Cry 4, you know, Devil May Cry 2. I mean, I'm expecting like 60 frames per second. I want that badass combat where it's like I'm slashing and I have the freedom of movement to roll out of the way very quick. And this game with the dodge mechanic, it's not the same as those other games, but it gives me what I like in Dark Souls, but better because it's faster and quick, and it relies more on your skill and you know, the skill with your controller and actually dodging the attacks and thinking about what you're going to do before you do it. And that's what that's what I like about the game. So to me personally, the lack of having a shield or a defense isn't really that big a deal. However, to those people who, you know, who love that about Dark Souls, I mean, they even make fun of it in this game, to be honest, because that wooden shield that one guy, you know, that you guys see me kill, you can get that, and that, you know, that shield has like a description where it'll say something like what does it say? Something like it adheres to defense or adheres to something, it says. But they acknowledge the fact that there's no shield in the game. And they actually have a good reason for it. They say that because most of the monsters that hunters fight have like super strength, so a shield would be useless when somebody would be using it. So I'm like, alright, you know, that kind of makes sense. It's, you know, so they rely on not getting hit. So liking that about the combat. A lot of the animations for like this thing right here, like the running animation you see me doing now, I think that's the same running animation from Dark Souls. I could be wrong. It seems like they tweaked it a little bit, so I'm expecting future animations and stuff like that to be maybe, you know, ripped from the Souls games and put in here. The weapons so far, I've tried this weapon you see I have here. I think it's the saw blade, saw sword, or something like that. And I've tried the axe. That's what I started out with, and it's the weapons feel good. They feel like they have impact to them. I can't really describe that in detail, but they feel impactful. Like when you swing and hit something. And it's the same when, like when you get hit. When an enemy hits you, it's like they impact you when you see like the blood spray out of you and stuff like that. I love that. Like you don't. Damn, you just gonna eat me like that, huh? One thing I do like is what you guys see me do just there is that dodge in combat. When you're getting hit, you can eat up like 1 or 2 blows, but if you in Dark Souls, if you're taking hits, you can't really do anything for the most part. Yeah, you might be able to roll if the enemy breaks their attack long enough, but in this, you can take 1 or 2 hits and let's say, dodge out of the way. Like if you mash the dodge button and ooh, I should have just ran. But if you mash the dodge button while you're getting hit, the next free frame you'll just immediately dodge out of the way and dodge the attack. So it definitely does make fighting a little bit easier to maneuver than the other Souls games. Plus I like how you can modify your weapon just by hitting 1 button to do a secondary thing. Like with the axe, the secondary attack was just like a lunging overhead attack, but with this saw blade here, it kind of gives you added range. Your hits you hit a tiny bit harder, but you get added range for your swings. And like you guys see me there when I killed that dog through the environment there. That's where that can benefit that. And please don't let this be like a dead end. Oh, and that's something else I noticed. Monsters will chase. You see what he's doing? They will chase you. Like you think, I might be safe. Let me go up this ladder. Nope. His big ass will be climbing up a ladder trying to get your ass. And that's one thing I noticed over time is like, because I was running away from one of those guys before, and I didn't realize that like I climbed a ladder and I was like, all right, I'm good. I was sitting there watching him. Next thing I know, his big ass is climbing up a ladder chasing me. So I'm just destroying all this stuff, trying to. This is one of the newer areas that I found when I wasn't recording. There was a hidden area that's back here, and this allows you to get other items and stuff that's down there. But I already got them, so there's no reason for me to go back down there. But I am really liking the game so far. I'm probably going to make tons of videos of it. I don't know what I'm going to do besides a full let's play of it. I might run through it a couple times if it's fun. I don't know how the game is. Like I said, I'm still in the early part of, in the game, so that may change. But I highly doubt it. I'm probably going to enjoy the hell out of this game just like I enjoyed the hell out of Dark Souls 2. Oh. Never been up there. Never went that way before. That is new. I assume that's where the boss area is. So I recorded, but I didn't actually go up there because I wanted to get that on the recording. So special item awaits ahead. Okay, really? Where? Ah, right here. It's not really special, but you use those items to level up your weapons at the shop in Hunter's Dream. But like I said, I'm really enjoying the game right now. See, look how bloody I am. I just look so badass, like I'm just covered with blood and shit. But I'm really liking it. I know I keep saying that, but that's because I am. I know a lot of people. I was watching somebody's, I don't know if he was doing a let's play of it or something, but he was just talking about how like, oh, they use the same footstep sound for everything, and I'm like, yo, really? Yo, just play the fucking game. You know what I'm saying? I was like, if you don't enjoy what you're doing or what you're playing, why are you playing? I mean, and I sorry to kind of turn this into a commentary, but it's just, to me, I mean, like on my channel, I play games because I have fun with games. I'm not gonna play something I don't enjoy. I don't care if 50 billion people are watching it. That's just the way I am. It's not going to be played. I'm not going to change who I am to appease certain people, you know, even if I was making tons of money on it or what have you. But I'm really enjoying this game right now, and you guys are probably going to be seeing tons of videos from me. As far as right now, with the early impressions, I can't think of any really bad negatives with the game, to be honest. Everything is damn good. They stepped their game up. I mean, you know, From Software did their damn thing. You know, graphically is good, musically is good. They even got a little bit of cutscenes in there, so that's, you know, that improves the story a little bit. I mean, granted, it's not much considered it's a, you know, made in the same vein as the Soul series, but let me lock on to that guy. There we go. But it seems like maybe, well, let me back away from that fire. But it seems like maybe they wanted to try something different. And with Dark Souls, they kind of, since they have like a hardcore community who plays it, maybe they felt that they didn't want to make the same game, because then if you make the same game, people would expect it to be that way. And when they made this, they was like, okay, well, maybe we want to make something different, or make a different game, but it could be different because it's a different game. It's not Dark Souls, if you guys understand what I'm saying. See how all the blood just splatters all over? Love that. And plus, I'm noticing maybe the game looks this good because it's on next gen and it's an exclusive. Because I noticed with Dark Souls, I have it on PC, also have it on Xbox 360. And normally when they make a game like that and they got to port it to other consoles, the game has to take a hit for it graphically. And I would assume that's why Dark Souls and whatnot, even on PC, doesn't look nowhere near as good as this game. It's just because they had to dumb down the graphics. But yeah, like I said, this game is extremely fun. If you're into Dark Souls, you probably already have this game, to be honest. But to those people who never really, you know, experienced any of the Souls games, and want something different, something new, something challenging, I would really say pick this game up. So far, just on the initial impressions, if the rest of the game holds up like this, it is worth the $60. I know I'm going to be playing the hell out of it. If you don't have the $60 to spend on the game, I would say easily just rent it, GameFly it, what have you, try it out. You know, maybe you'll really like it, maybe you won't. I don't know. You know, that depends on every person's different about what they want out of a game and what they get out of a game when they play it. I know for me, I'm just looking for gameplay, fun gameplay, decent story, and kind of be challenging a little bit. I'm not extremely picky. But to those people who are extremely picky, rent it, try it. If you don't like it, don't buy it. It is what it is. But for those people who are already playing through it, you got any hints, let me know, because I'm a noob at this shit. Like I said, I'm still in the start area. Still don't know how I'm going to take my character. Still don't know what half the stats mean as far as like arcane and all the extra stuff in the game. So if any of you guys got any hints, please do let me know down there in the comment section. I will try them out in my videos when I record. But as always, my name is Denonu, and that's my real opinion. No bullshit. I'll see you guys later.